Yeah, I was thinking, you know, I was like, I was wondering, when people talk about awakening, do they think that just because they had like an experience where they've realized, you can say, their formless nature, then does that, like, they take that to be like, I'm awake now? Maybe. See, I had that when I was like 12 or 11. And so I realized at that point, obviously I wasn't this human form, but I also realized, like, okay, that state doesn't last forever. I was in deep, deep peace and loved everybody, like, too much. Like, I just want to sit with you and tell you, I just love you over and over again. Yeah. So, but that didn't stay like that. In fact, I was praying to God to take it out. Like, can you, I cannot function in life like this. Can you help me? God's like, well, I am helping you. Like, you got the thing everybody wants. I know, but like, I want to still go to school and rap and look cool with the girls and, you know, fight and, you know what I mean? Like, can I just go do that a little bit? Oh, all right. I think you'll change your mind. And I did. I'm like, damn, can I get the peace back? I understand now. Like, I made a decision. I made a bad decision. This is what we do. So, is that what it is? Like, people think, do you confuse an experience with like, I'm awake now forever type thing? Yeah. Anyway, that came to me because I was like, how does everyone, not everyone, but how do so many people they throw this word awakening around like it's you know, just nothing. That's why I don't like using words that are thrown around and misused too much. Awakening, God, guru, love, you know. So I try to use them sparingly. But that came to me like a second before I pushed the play button. So I wanted to express that. Anyway, okay, what's the title? Let's see. I have it written down somewhere. Yeah. There's no way you can have awakening without struggle. Impossible. Impossible. Nobody's free of that. Unless you were just some weird avatar situation where you came into life with God perception from the beginning and never had any trouble. But even that's not possible because you have to take some collective karma if you're getting a human body. So even if you don't have any individual karma, you're going to have to, like, borrow some from people so that you can still exist, because there needs to be some friction. Otherwise, you can't exist. So there needs to be some struggle, because here's why. Awakening is, you can say, transcendence of our lower nature. When you transcend your lower nature, you start to experience something that the mind might label as awakening. And you start to experience some deeper, more higher level feelings, serenity and peace, etc. when you transcend certain things, because as I shared in another video, those desires and attachments and stuff, they keep the mind busy. So when the mind's busy, that produces its own reality, which you can say has a different frequency of emotions, lower than the reality that we experience when our mind's quiet, because then our experiences and feelings are higher frequency. Okay, so how can you transcend something? So remember, it's important to transcend, to experience what the mind wants to maybe call awakening. You have to experience transcendence. How can you experience transcendence if you don't first experience the opposite, which is being addicted or a slave to certain things, desires, attachments, etc.? How do you get to where you're not attached in a relationship? I can tell you how that happened for me. I didn't, like, repeat some techniques like I'm an alpha male, I'm an alpha male. I have another channel, some of you guys know, Beyond the Alchemy. I talk about semen retention. And so I have fun over there too. Because a lot of these channels in that niche, they try to tell the guys to be an alpha male. Be an alpha male, and then you're good. And then these girls, they can't bother you anymore, because you'll never get hurt either, ever, because you're an alpha male. So I like to make fun of certain words. Like on this channel, I'll make fun of the non-dual oaks or robots or whatever. Gotta have fun. And I'm making fun of the mind. That's what I'm making fun of. Because the mind's funny. When you can see it. Okay. So, to use that example with the relationship, how did I transcend this? I used to just get destroyed when a relationship would end. I remember my first one ended at like 10 years old. She's like, can we just be friends? I'm like, oh no. I even knew at that time that that meant she didn't really like me much anymore. So then that's how I would feel when I sensed a girl didn't like me. Even when she liked me, I'd start feeling bad because I'd be like, uh-oh, there's gonna come a day where she might not like me anymore. See, my mind would really get me. So what happened? How did I transcend that? I don't feel like that today anymore. Does that mean, though, if universe gave me some karmic soulmate who I've been with forever, and then we met, and you feel that instantaneous chemistry that you do when you first meet somebody, where you're like, whoa, we must have hanged out before. Had to. Can't develop. We already have chemistry that could take lifetimes to develop, and we already have it. So, okay, that feels good. So if I met somebody like that, again, I've already met a few, it's great, it's wonderful, but I'm not like looking for it anymore. It's nice though, the universe wants to do that. If I had that, and then all of a sudden she gets caught in a tsunami out there or something, what do you think? You think I'm not gonna feel something? Well, if I feel something, does that mean I'm attached? On some level, yeah. That's good. Like, what do you want to do? You want to just turn into a robot? Some AI? A non-dual AI? Like, as long as we have an emotional body and a human body, we're going to experience these feelings. But it doesn't destroy me anymore. The last girlfriend I was with, she like did something with another guy. And then I could tell. She didn't want to tell me. And I'm like, yeah, you did. She's like, oh, I couldn't help it. It's just my body, like, you needed it. And it's, because you wouldn't do it with me. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to do it with you because you're a sex addict. And I didn't want to, like foster that, like, get over that addiction, and then maybe we can do something, So she went and found it elsewhere. I never broke up with the girl in my life. They always used to break up with me. Because, man, when you're with me, like, this process, like, being with me 6 months is like being with someone else maybe 50 years type thing. I'm just trying to give an analogy. So I didn't have to break up with them. They would just couldn't take it anymore. So with this girl, though, I actually felt like, okay, like, we're done. Because we couldn't, nothing, it was nothing, I couldn't work with that anymore. She's a sex addict, marijuana addict, the frequency she was on, we couldn't really relate. She wasn't like that when I was first with her, though, obviously. I don't get with people like that. And she was a karmic soulmate, so I knew the whole story from the beginning. I told her the first night. I said, if this ends bad for me, it's totally worth it. I just have to experience this. I told her like that. And then the last night that she ever spent the night, where I knew it was finished, I said, well, I told you. I said, but I'm glad that I experienced this. She said, really? I said, well, yeah, do you think I'm lying when I told you 6 months ago or something? Okay, did I feel some attachment and stuff? Yeah. Probably helped because I was doing too much plant medicine at the time. That makes you extra sensitive, okay, whatever. But if I was to meet that again, would I, like, feel attached? If she, like, left me or did something, I would feel something because that's your mate. That's your karmic mate. You've been having sex. Your energetic cords are in each other, and then when she, like, rips it away, like, yeah, you're gonna feel something. But when you go through that a couple times, you're stronger. So you're stronger. That's what happens. So then you can bear it. That's why I'm not afraid of it happening again, because it's like, yeah, I feel it, but it's not a big deal. I could still make videos. I'm not going to be, lovesick and unable to eat or sleep or nothing like that. Like, it's okay. So I had to go through that to transcend it. You have to go through that. See? You can't. That's why if you're 20 years old and saying you're enlightened and never had a relationship, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Life might, you know, do something, but let's see. So to transcend something, you gotta have the experience of it. You gotta go through it. And then in that, there's all kinds of, you can say, spiritual nourishment and downloads and realizations that you get that then puts you in a more transcendent place because you've like went through it. There's something to transcend. You were super attached and dependent and codependent and all that, and so now you're not. So you transcended it. But see, you have to feel that and go through that so that then you have the experience of transcending. So that's what I'm saying. That's why struggles are inevitable. Like, you have to experience that. You have to experience struggle to transcend. And you have to experience transcendence in order to feel a sense of well-being and peace and serenity and awakening, right? You can't experience awakening without transcendence. You can't experience transcendence without being a slave or addicted. It's the whole process. All the while, the pure self hasn't become a slave or transcended anything. This is the dualistic game that we're in, and both aspects need to be given some attention to. The human self, and you can say our transcendent self. All right, did I miss anything else? The excitement of desiring. When you have a desire, I used to, man, I had this desire when I was 16, I remember. It's the first thing that comes to my head, so that's how I know, like, oh, this must be strong. There was a Mach 1 Mustang, 71 Mach 1 Mustang. It had flames on the hood, and I desired that car. I didn't even have a driver's license. I had my so-called friend put it in his name so that I could get a license plate so I could drive it, because you need to have a license in order to get a license plate in America. I didn't have a license, but I needed a license plate so I could drive it. So I got him to do it because he had a license. He gets drunk, and so I'm driving, man, sporting, like, you know, like, I'm liking it. Really enjoyed that car. He gets drunk, calls the police, tells them I stole his car. He's like, look, this is my car. I have the license plate. Cops pull me over, and they're like, why did you steal the car? I'm like, it's my car, though. He's like, well, no, but the guy said that it's his car. And then I explained, I said, actually, I don't have a license, and I paid this stupid idiot to put it in his name, and now he's like telling you it's his car. It's stuff we do. But I had to do that because I wanted to have that car. And that was great, having that car. And then it sucked, because then I went to jail because I had driven on suspended license and allegedly stole the car. But they dropped that charge. And then I got out, and in the car, I still had it. I ended up getting it back. It's a long story. It's not the time and place for it. But I ended up getting it back. And then I was driving it, again with a suspended license, whatever. And it kept breaking down, though, you see. And I was spending all my money to get this damn thing fixed. And at some point, the excitement of driving it went down. And then I ended up selling it at an auction for like $600, you know, like $20,000 later. I transcended that desire the hard way. That's what happens, though. We have certain desires. We need to experience that, whether that be make a bunch of money, get your own business, get a YouTube channel. Wow, I got a YouTube channel. I got subscribers. Oh, I got likes. Damn, yeah, that feels good. And then fast forward, I don't know, depends on your karma, how long it takes to where you're like, damn, this is too much work, actually. I think I'm gonna quit. So you transcend that desire because you've experienced it, you got excited by it, then you transcend it. See? You gotta like go through the whole full spectrum package. Same with addictions, but I'm making a separate video on that, about how addictions can be a powerful awakening tool that God uses for awakening, having an addiction. Because you start to, you know what it is to be powerless. You start to taste what it is to be powerless. You're like, I'm addicted to this thing and I can't stop. Like, I can't stop. I don't have the willpower to stop. Nothing exists, nothing exists. Don't work. I can't stop doing this. And it's making me suffer, and it keeps my mind busy, and it makes my experience in this body like heavier because it jacks up my nervous system and my dopamine levels and everything's in balance, and like, but I can't stop. What am I going to do? Yeah. I guess that's a teaser. That's a teaser for the next video. So let me know if you want to, you know, when you tell me you're like, yeah, I want to hear that, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll make it. You see? So you have to help me a little here. Also, look, people that leave questions, I'm trying, like I try, I've answered now, like I said in another video, I've been doing this since September, and I was able to pretty much answer every question. But now it's getting a little difficult because I'm getting a little burnt. Like if I spend too much energy, and then that can take away from my punch, what I deliver into my videos. So, you know, it's a balance thing. The universe is doing the balance, but I got to listen to it, you see? So if anybody, there's all levels on this channel. When you see a question, if you see one and you feel that you can offer something to that being, and some of you already are doing this, and I like that. You're helping me, you're helping them, you're helping yourself. It's great. And so, yeah, do that. Go ahead and share, because they appreciate it, you know? Like, they appreciate it. I don't have all the answers, and I also I can't do it all. So if you want to help me and do some karma yoga, good, thanks. All right, I'll talk to you soon.